Good morning from the seed warehouse. I'm gonna finish treating this wagon load of wheat that we've got here. Just a couple more boxes in it, I think. And then we're gonna get some of our bags of wheat over here that we got yesterday. Load it up on a trailer, go make a delivery here this morning. You guys remember this air filter that I built here? Just took 4 filters and taped them together and put a fan on the end. You can see it sucking the dirt in the light here on both sides. I don't know how well that shows up on the camera, but you can see the dust in the air and it getting drawn down into that filter. That's pretty cool. Anyway, it's working. Look how dirty it is. Got a visitor again this morning. How we doing?
Good.
Feeling better now? She was standing outside the door, pounding on it, crying, and I didn't hear her because the treater was running. And then I turned it off, and I heard her, and I'm like, oh no. It's all right. All right, we got to finish emptying these boxes and then get our trailer hooked up. So our wheat comes in these big bulk bags, which nobody likes. And I had one customer who was like, well, I'll take some, but I need it in boxes. Or he needs 2 boxes. He bought 3 bags. He needs 2 boxes so that he can set them on his tender and use that. And so I said, well, I've got extra boxes I'll let you use. So we're going to transfer 2 of his bags into these boxes so that he can use his tender and stuff. And then I'll just get the boxes back. No big deal. So we pull on this. Ugh, kind of. It's supposed to come out. Okay, there, we got it. And then you open this bottom flap up and pull that rope loose. That opens. And then there's an inner part of the bag. You untie this rope. You just stay there. And we untie that. We unwrap it. Make sure our gate's closed. And eventually here, there we go. Yeah, these bags are not good, but fortunately I have a forklift. I can go high enough to lift them to dump them into the boxes, and it's reasonably safe. What ends up happening is guys can't lift them high enough, so they cut a hole in a pallet and think they're going to empty it that way, and then the bags fall off the side of the pallet as they empty, and that's not good. We shake it a little bit, and we end up with that. Oops. Huh? Sorry. All right, we got our trailer all loaded up. I actually got 6 on there, those 2 boxes and then 4 bags. We got 2 stops we're gonna make. Each of them get 3. The first one is only a couple of miles from here, so we're a little heavy, I think, but no big deal. We'll get those off quick, and then the other 3 go and get those dropped off. All right, so we're making this delivery here. It's gonna take a couple hours. It's 9:30 now. It's probably gonna be 11:30 or noon before we get back. And it'll be time to get started harvesting. We did get a little bit of fog this morning. It's gone now, and a fairly heavy dew, so that's good. It'll help moisten those beans back up, but it also may slow down getting started a little bit. We can't harvest when the beans are actually wet. The pods won't crack open, and won't be able to get them out of the plants. And so yeah, we'll see. We got to figure out where we're going. We got one 40-acre field ready to go that we're going to go to next, and then kind of got some decisions to make from there. We've got, let's see, we've got another 42-acre piece, a 75-acre farm, and then we've got a 18-acre piece, a 13-acre piece, and a 30-acre piece that are all probably what's left to be ready. So we should be able to keep running today and part of the day, at least tomorrow, and then we may be out of early dry beans, which, that's okay. We got a really good start here. All right, we got unloaded. One of my livestock operations, they are hard at chopping corn right now. And so we're staying the heck out of the way, but they got the wheat unloaded. Actually went and looked at a couple of fields that have been chopped with this customer. They had some of my corn that they chopped here. In fact, this one here, they had a plot out here. I don't remember if you guys remember the video where we were finding all the rootworm beetles. That was this field right here. Got it chopped. Tonnage sounds really good. Was good moisture when they stopped, starting to get a little dry now, 2 or 3 days later. Stuff's drying down that fast. I'm getting some manure hauled. But I had a little issue with one of the hybrids that we needed to look at, so we went and did that. One of the corn hybrids that I sold them was 114-day. Really good corn, really tall. It tunned up really well, but there was some shank snapping where the chopper would hit it and then the ear shanks would break and the ears were hitting the ground. So I wanted to go and look at that and see how bad it was. There were some ears on the ground. It's not horrible, but it was noticeable. I was passing pictures along to my agronomist, and you know, he's not asking for anything. Not a whole lot we can do about it anyway, but just something to take note of and keep in mind for the future here, I guess. All right, we're back. Let's go combine some beans. Rock got our combine fueled up, tire pumped up. So we're gonna head out here. Dad's gonna go grab the head, and we're heading to that next field. Okay, we're gonna get hooked up here. This is US 20 is the main road, so we can't really hook up on the road. So Dad's just he's where he is. We'll get it here. There's a few green ones along this edge. Clearly a filler season variety there, but the rest of the field's not too bad. And as dry as they are, we need a few green ones. It's okay. Okay, this is a 40-acre field. Like I said, we're right on US 20, kind of a main road there. This is the one that we refer to as the new farm right now. This is the latest farm that we have purchased or added to our operation, I guess. This is the second year we farmed it. We farmed it last year. It was corn a year ago. The plan was to put wheat here this fall, and then last fall was so dry we were able to tile it after the corn. And so this field got pattern tiled last early winter, I guess, late fall. And now it's a little bit rough, and so the plan is no longer to put wheat out here, but instead to run a ripper through it, try and level it off so that it's not so bumpy and rough. I'm sure we will feel all of those tile lines as we start going across the rows here, and we'll see if it's any better farm than what it was a year ago. This first pass, there was the different variety in there. Probably a 2.9 or something. We're going to get a bunch of green ones. Oh, he's just going to leave without me? I don't know. Okay, never mind. Brock is already on his way with the grain cart, and Phil's on his way with a truck, so we just go combine. So we're going to try and blend these green ones off just a little bit at a time. I combined, I don't know, a couple 100 feet of that pass, and then we jumped over here to these ones that are drier. And we got, 2 foot or whatever of the green ones there. Average here is 12.7. These are going to continue to drop as we go, and we'll take a little bit of those with every tank load or whatever. I'm just going to have to blend them off. It'll be fine. There's not that many green ones there. About halfway down this field, that variety peters out, and then they're all this earlier variety. These are a 2.6. This is the first of this 2.6 that we have run this year. They were outstanding beans last year, and at the moment our outstanding beans in this field, well, I wasn't just saying 70, so yeah, right there, 70. We'll see how they do. I'm concerned that our fuller season beans, the later ones that aren't ready yet, are going to be worse than our early beans because they're so much drier towards the end of their growing window here, but that remains to be seen. So far, they haven't been outstanding, but they haven't been bad either. Got a grain cart driver today, and we might need it for this field. This is half-mile long rows, and well, I did the ends on both sides, so it's hard to say how full we would get, but it'd be close to whether or not I could even make a full round in here. These are pretty decent beans. Blending. Blend. They'll be fine. These are only 17%, 16.3. That's not that bad. You can see the different colors now. There's some lighter ones down there. Those are the other variety. That's them starting to work through the planter, and there's less and less green ones. So I did that round and got some dry ones for the bottom of the grain tank and the bottom of the grain cart. We'll blend these green ones through the top. They'll blend going into the trucks, and they will be fine. Well, there's a pass right through the middle of the field. I kind of wanted to see what our yield is based on that pass. This load, 67. That's pretty good. 67.5. I'll take that. I missed some doing these ends. I gotta fix it. That one is what we would call a row of shame. Me not paying attention. So the tile lines in this field, yeah, they might go a couple different directions, but a lot of them run kind of on an angle that way. We can feel them, but they're not horrible. Actually, these ones I can see in the beans. They kind of run the other way over here. If you watch the tires on the front of the tractor there, every now and then you'll see them turning. I'm not sure if that's the tractor trying to hold its line or if it's reacting to the combine kind of weaving or hitting those bumps and going up and down, and the machine sink kind of making it weave a little bit. But it's a little rough out here. It's not terrible. If they were directly perpendicular to the rows, it'd be a lot worse. Not the end of the world. We're going to get some fertilizer spread out here, and then we're going to get the ripper out here and get this ripped. So it would be awesome to get some rain before we do that. But the rain is not promising in the forecast. There's a slight chance Monday and Tuesday, but doesn't look like much, and it doesn't look like a high percentage. So Phil should get there. I don't know if this will fill that truck or not. It'll be close to filling that truck. He's going to haul these right to town. We're about 5 miles closer to the elevator at the field here than we are back at the farm. So they're dry. We got contracts to fill. He's just going to haul them straight in. Well, we've about got a grain cart full again. Phil just got back with another truck. We're running our machine sink, so now that spot is getting a little full, come over here to the display and I hit this button and it moves the grain cart forward, and then we fill behind it, and that's freaking cool. Also, wanted to point this out. You see this patch of weeds up here? Way back in June I made a video about that. It may have just been a short one of those you're a better farmer than me, you're probably a better farmer than me videos, but that is a spot where Dad ran out of herbicide, basically 120 foot from the edge. It's just a small strip there, but he ran out with the sprayer when he was spraying the pre-emerge, and that's what happens. You get a bunch of weeds in there. So we did spray it post, but we just used glyphosate and clethodim, and the mare's tail are Roundup resistant, so they came through. The water hemp that's in there. Yeah. So our Tendovo, our pre-emerge, it works where you spray it. I mean, you can see right there a fine line where the ends got sprayed and there's no more weeds. Oh, here's another interesting note on this field. You can almost kind of sort of see a sprayer track right there in this field, but barely. And the reason for that is because that is from the post-emerge pass, the one where Dad ran out up here at the end of this. We did not use the ground sprayer for the fungicide here. This field was sprayed with the spray drone. And so we don't have significant wheel tracks out here. And, you know, this was the whole field, but I didn't want to spray it with the sprayer because of the tile lines. So we did it with the drone. Whether that's helping the yield or not, I don't know. We'll do some comparison stuff on the computer eventually. I got a couple of fields that were split, partially with the drone, partially with the ground rig. So it's one of those things that, are the wheel tracks actually costing you much? They're costing you something, but it's pretty hard to quantify when it's like one pass out of 3 with the combine, and so it doesn't add up to a whole lot, especially when you factor it across the whole field. Sometimes when we look at our yield map, you can actually see like 2 passes that are better and then one that gets worse, which obviously we don't have in this field because we don't have any wheel tracks. fields that we always end up on the wrong side of. That's okay. We'll go get unloaded. Dad's on his way to get the header cart. We'll go get moved. What do we end up with here? 64.5. That's dang good. For this farm, that is dang good. Tile made all the difference in the world. Let's see. This was our worst cornfield last year. Like, not even close. Our worst. So, to be that good of beans, we will take it. Okay, we got our head unhooked. Phil just pulled back in with a semi so Brock can get emptied, and we are off to the next field. What do we get? Choking on my chips. We've got about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll wait for that one. 7 or 8 mile move here, I guess. We're 5 miles one direction of the farm. We're gonna go 3 miles in the other direction. So, opening up our next field here. This one's a little bigger. We got a 65-acre chunk here. Biggest field we've been in yet. And we should get her done tonight, no problem. I've kind of made the perimeter around it. We like to start on this side, but load trucks clear over on the other side, so it takes a little while to get over here. We do have this little 9-acre piece on the south side of a little ditch there that we'll get to tonight if we can. These are those same 2 6s. They're really dry out here, right? We're at 10.5, but looking out, you can see in the dips, we've got a few yellow leaves yet. Along the ditch back there, there's some green ones. We're gonna have to selectively blend in. So we'll see how we do. We'll see how the beans are. So far, so good. And keep making some progress here. Brock, my grain cart guy's way down there. I'm not entirely convinced I'm gonna make it down to the end. We're at 71% here, but we'll get close and unload heading back this way. You can head over to the truck. I had a little drowned out spot here where these were planted early, and then we had some heavy rains there in May, and well, that spot didn't make it. So there's a little green around it, nothing too bad. Average for the field is at 1102. They're very, very dry, so we'll take all the green ones we can get right now. We're 26 acres into the field here. It's still sitting at a 61 average. That's great. Here's the yield map. I think we're going to do a live here. So I'll check in with you guys later. Well, we're moving across this field. Got a round and a half or so to do here. And the beans have been pretty decent. We're still hanging in there at a pretty good average. We're really good in this corner up here. But they're very dry. 9-10% for most of this field. A few green ones in here, they're 12. We got 8 acres behind us to finish up here. It is 6:30, so yeah, that's a pretty good day. I doubt we'll move tonight, but this went faster than I thought it would. It'll be a 120-acre day almost. Fun fact about this spot in this field, we did a corn maze here a couple of times, 20-some years ago. So the town is right there, the town of Waldron. They have a big Labor Day festival. And back when I was in FFA and in high school, and my dad was doing everything he can to support it, we did a corn maze here. I had like a 6 or 7 acres up in this corner, and I got to design and cut it and do it, and yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. Well, this one is done. What a deal. We're done way before I thought we were gonna be. That's good. So we're gonna jump across the bridge on the road here and go get that other little piece. Won't take very long. Probably call it a night. If it was still light, I would think about moving, but it's not gonna be. It might still be, but I don't know if it's worth it. Small fields go fast. Only 9.5 acres, whatever it is here. We got that to do, just these little point rows basically. Bill's back with the truck, grain cart up there. And the sun's setting on us, so another 10 minutes we'll be done here, and we're gonna have an early night. Just as the sun's setting behind the trees. Got her done. These were good beans too. I almost made 65, how about that? Phil hauled all of those beans from the first field in that we did today into the elevator, so gives us something to compare to the combine and the grain cart. I hear that for at least one of those truckloads, the grain cart was off by 0.1%-ish. We'll take that. That's close enough. So a combine may still be off by a bushel or so, but it isn't much, and it's close enough for what we're trying to do. Like I said, we post-calibrate everything on the computer so that the final results are accurate, but yeah, close enough, and 65 here is good. We're going to leave the equipment sit here in the field tonight. Look at the dust hanging across there. The next field is just a mile down the road here, or not even a mile, half a mile down the road, so we'll just move everything from here to there tomorrow. We won't need fuel tomorrow. We've got about 100 acres of early beans left to try and run, but like I said, it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields tomorrow, 4 moves. It'd be a heck of a day if we can get all that done. We might get there, but it's going to take a day. So we are sitting currently at about 350 acres of beans run so far, and feeling really good about that. Today's the 17th of September. If by the 18th of September we're at 450 acres of beans out and nothing else ready, like, that's a really good start, early start with pretty decent beans. So feeling good about it. I hear they started piling gypsum today. Oh yeah. Right there, okay. So we got 2 loads in. 4 piles, but they're doubles, so that's 100 tons. We got 250 total coming, so there's 3 more of those piles, or 3 more of those truckloads. All right. I would like to get back to spreading some fertilizer here sooner rather than later, but we're going to do what we can do, right? So we'll get there. I'm going to check in with Phil, and then we're going home for the night. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I've got some guys coming to pick up some wheat in the morning, and then we're going to try and get started earlier. Get that last 100 acres that's ready done. We'll need to go look around. We should go look at some corn is what we need to do. I just talked to Phil. He had to weigh tickets from that first field today. The combine was off by 18 bushels. Not bushels per acre, 18 bushels total on 40 acres. That's less than a half a bushel off. That's close enough.